Today, my brother and I are headed to the old Jameson Distillery in Dublin, Ireland, where we'll learn how the whiskey's made and enjoy a comparative tasting.
This is Magellan,
And this is Greyhound.
where we make videos about epic road trips, kayaking, hiking, and other outdoor adventures.
Originally called the Bow Street Distillery and established in 1780, the old Jameson Distillery is a monument to Irish whiskey. While operations now run out of a newer facility in Cork to meet global demand, this was a fun experience. The facility now focuses on guided tours, whiskey tastings, and its bar. Before our guided tour began, we were given time to check out a brief timeline history of the distillery, to include its founders John and Margaret Jameson, the involvement of the distillery in the 1960 Easter Rising, and its nickname as a city within a city, because it was 5 acres and housed a smithy, sawmills, cooperage, and various trade shops. The first room you brought into focuses on the history of the bottle, the label itself, as well as the family history and the eventual merger in the 1970s. Before long, you'll be ushered into a second room, made up of numerous small stations. Here, you'll learn about the ingredients. As a mostly non-whiskey drinker and occasional homebrewer, being able to smell the stills and the malted and unmalted barley was right up my alley. It was really cool to learn and actually see the changes that occurred during the distillation and maturation process. We were then brought into a third room, designed to represent a barrel with a large circular table that had pre-filled glasses of different Jameson whiskey and water. This is all about the smelling and tasting. Our first tasting was the regular Jameson, which is always smooth going down, and that did not change. I've always found it to be more sweet than spicy, but that's my palate. As you can see, under each glass, it lists the most common notes you may taste when drinking it. The second one we tried was the Crested, which was hands down the best of the three. Half the room didn't taste the chocolate, which is normal, but I fortunately did. Chocolate is so tasty. The last one we tried was the Black Barrel, which is aged for up to 16 years. I was surprised that I could taste the vanilla. Definitely strong and spicy. One last thing to note. Greyhound and I did this years ago, and this tasting tour has changed, I think, for the better. It used to be a comparative tasting between American, Irish, and Scotch whiskey, focusing on why Jameson's thrice distilled whiskey was superior. This was much better because you simply focus on the Jameson varieties. Once the tasting is complete, you'll head out with your drink voucher, but not before heading through the bottle shop. Our advice is to buy the Crested if you really enjoyed it. Don't be dumb like us and believe them that it will be in stock at the airport. It wasn't, and it's not sold in the US where we live. The last spot is the Daily Grog for your drink. The Daily Grog is a nod back to when Jameson workers received 2 shots daily, at 11 a.m. and 4 p.m., and were docked their shots, not pay, as punishment for any infractions. We both decided that the Jameson with ginger and lime was a great choice, and were rewarded for it. So good. Stay tuned for the Epic Irish Emigration Museum next, a must-stop for anyone with Irish roots, and be sure to tune in when this trip's all released for a special full-length movie. We'll see you on the trails or in the water.